Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the KF2 podcast. This is episode 9 with ROBDO1, a player from last year's tournament. Here to talk with me about this upcoming one and share his thoughts on the game and the tournament and pretty much everything else. So, Rob, how you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. Just waking up, is mentally preparing myself for the day. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, so take us back here. Last year, right? Whenever I got you guys on a team for the tournament last
hmm
year, give me a little bit of a rundown, like from start to end. How did it play through for you?
Okay. Well, you started it out. You put out information about people saying, "Hey, are you interested in this? Submit your name." People submitted their names. With due diligence, you made sure to make the brackets, make certain teams A, B, C, D, and so forth. Did a very excellent job of that, and it flowed pretty well. When it came to my side, I think some of the guys that were there at the time, nobody reached out to me. So I was just waiting, and I work a third shift job, and I do YouTube as well. New streamer, maybe been streaming about a year. So when your stream popped up, I jumped on Twitch, logged in, watched it, and I see you interacting with everybody, being a great host, talking to people, and then I saw a team going in really hard. They were doing great, had everything set up right. And I was sitting there, you were talking. I was like, you talked about this team. I was like, hold on, was that the team I'm supposed to be on? I was like, I didn't get a message or anything about practicing and stuff like you had mentioned earlier. Get with your team, your captain will tell you about practicing. And I was like, that'll be awesome. And it never happened. But you being an awesome guy you are, when I did message you about it, during your Twitch stream, you actually did reach out to me. You actually did do a timeout of your stream, took time out of your efforts of what you were doing to bring the people that was on my team supposedly into a party chat so we could talk and move forward. And the conversation didn't go bad. Um, Pretty much just told them I wanted to be a part of it, but at that time, of course, it was too late. They had already made their somewhat decisions on who was going to be in their group. I wish them the best, and
This was midway. This was I know which part you were talking about. This was like
hmm
midway through round one, pretty
Yep,
much. Yeah.
yep. So it went well. We talked. I told them, kill a bunch of Zeds, slay them, have fun, and it's going to be okay. Maybe I can catch in on the next one if available. But you did good, man. A lot of people were watching. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I really support the motion and the movement for Killing Floor. It was the first 4K game that came out a long time ago. I played it for a long time. I started prestiging way early. Like I remember Killing Floor used to send me an event for double XP about once or twice a month. And I would say I was going and not going double XP. That was before they did double XP after you prestige. So I stopped playing Killing Floor for probably almost a year. Um, Started playing Mortal Kombat when it came out, just kind of transitioned. And then one day I said, man, what about Killing Floor, man? I haven't finished it. I don't like leaving the game unfinished. So I went back and then I figured out that you stay in double XP now, um, which is encouraging people to prestige. So I'm back at it, trying to go through it all. I want to get everything max prestige. I'm working on it now on my gunslinger, and it's just still a great game. Got new people coming in. It's got a late kicking like energy insurgents, I really believe, where people are playing it cross platform. I really wish it would be cross platform. That would be awesome. But unfortunately it's not. But there's still so many users on PlayStation, PC, on Steam. Love Steam. Even though I don't have a computer, I am that much of a geek. I love Steam and Xbox. So, this game was supposed to die. What did they say? Predicted a year ago. But then they started making DLC content we can buy, and we gave them the love back. We started buying things from Tripwire, and they seem to low key be still giving us our events, still refreshing things, and I just think it's awesome that we're getting the love back that we gave to Tripwire, the creators, and you doing this
Just
whole
making
situation
something
with the
out of it.
tournament. Yeah, instead of letting it die like it was supposed to die like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When I started playing it, I was like, oh, it's gonna end, and I was like, I have max prestige everything. I gotta start, and now it's still going, and it's just a beautiful thing, man. Seeing new players, people that haven't prestige, people that are nervous to prestige.
Well,
I think it's cool.
let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
If you were on the starting lineup, uh, all the way through the semis,
Yes.
what perk would you have been?
That's a very good question. Okay, because with me, I was playing Killing Floor when the servers had a lot of issues, where sometimes you couldn't get online and you couldn't find anybody. So a lot of times I always played public, even Hell on Earth by myself. I even do the same thing in my streams. I hope people join, but it's never 100% guaranteed. So with that being said, with your question, I would have to say it will depend on my teammates because I'm comfortable running any perk. Don't feel nervous running this or that, but I kind of have a favorite perk, but when it comes to team play, it doesn't really matter. You're supposed to be able to adapt. I'm comfortable with any perk actually.
Okay, so let's say this. Like, I'm gonna throw another hypothetical. Uh,
Okay.
like they were facing Hans. I'd say this was also right before their last heat on the first round on Descent. They had
Mhm.
Hans. I think they only had a few players left. Uh, and it was really crunch time for them because they were losing a lot of points. I'm gonna put you like in their shoes a little bit and
Okay.
say like if you could have been any perk like and I think they had Rapturist and another Zerker. Uh, like what perk would you have been if you knew you were coming in on Descent? Hans, 10 wave Hell on Earth. Like what perk would you have been and would you have performed? Would you guys have performed better than they would have last year if you were on? I would
Okay.
say.
If I was on Descent, I love Descent, but Hell on Earth Descent, that is very tricky. That's pretty much the same thing as Power Core. Um, Even running it by yourself is very difficult, very hard. I've run it multiple times. But if it was me and I knew that was my crew, I would definitely have picked Field Medic. I would have picked Field Medic that way. I could heal people. I could use syringes. I could use the health grenades, and I could also use weapons that I love to shoot and take off heads, but also be able to heal people. Because in that kind of a small area, one field medic's all right, but if I was running a full crew on Descent, my thoughts, because of how tricky the game can be, especially on Hell on Earth,
Mm-hmm.
I would try to have at least two field medics. I think you need at least two for the whole crew to live. You can try to keep them all alive with one, but it's so hectic and so cramped and small. Um, you can die with two health grenades thrown out on the ground that you're standing in. A berserker flesh round come through and knock you out.
Yeah, last
So
year's tournament, I loved like at least one duplicate perk. So like there could be two medics or two Zerks. But now the rules have changed, so there's no duplicate perks at all. So you'd have to, if you're gonna be a perk, you have to stick with it. Yeah.
Okay, with that being said, I would stick with field medic.
Oh no. You. I sorry, I worded that wrong. Like they they were confused because like you were talking last year's rules and they
Hmm.
weren't like aware, so I was just like
Oh, okay.
updating them. Yeah.
I got you.
But yeah, I think two field medics would have been pretty good for the most part.
Yeah.
Only
But
bad thing is you might not have as much power as you probably should, but you know it is what
yeah,
it
but
is.
right.
Uh,
But like if it was just me and like the scenario you said, me and two other players, I'd hope we had or would have at least um, a firebug, and what would I say? I'd be a field medic, firebug, and maybe a commando to give extra ammo just in case. But not everybody's comfortable running it. That's actually one of my favorite from back when the game first came out because I'm an old school Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 player. So
mhm.
when I saw um, the support, it was awesome. I was like, oh, support, awesome! I get to do so much damage with shotguns. Like I could shoot off the hip. You know, I I remember the perks I used to have, and I tried to apply what I knew from Call of Duty to Killing Floor, and it does help. Like if you're a good shooter and you got pretty good hand speed,
Mhm.
and you set your sensitivities right, that's one thing I will recommend to anybody. I know when you go into it, it's going to look like a PC, but you need to get your sensitivities correct because I've gone in because it's all through digits. It's not necessarily high, low, medium, and user friendly like Call of Duty. But I went through and made sure that I had my visuals and my surroundings correct on my down the sight, my left to right horizontal motions. If you do that correctly, I think you can navigate this game pretty well, just like playing, what is it, Insane? They would call it on Call of Duty, I think.
No, I have no idea. I haven't played Call of Duty in a minute.
The last time I played was Warzone. I didn't like it because everything seems to be falling Fortnite, and I don't really like it.
Mhm.
It's just no need to prestige now if I can't play it every day, and you're penalizing me by telling me there's 5 days left and now I have to pay $20 to get it. I'm paying to play, and as a gamer, I want to earn my wins. I want to earn my prestigious, and then it's just get taken away. So that's why I love Killing Floor because you prestige, you own it. They give you a skin now for the basic weapons,
Mhm.
and for me, that's what keeps me driving on Killing Floor. Is just when I log in, I want to see every class gold, and I'm getting close, and I think that means something.
Okay. Um. So, fast forwarding to this tournament now.
Hmm.
Uh, I already have about 6 or 7 teams registered.
I saw
Uh,
that.
yeah. I think I just need one more for a full bracket. Uh, so how do you think this new tournament is gonna play out?
I think it's going to be very interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of mix-ups because you have a lot of new players and old players,
Mm-hmm.
and some of these guys, or females as well, because there's not many out there that I've encountered, but I got a couple that I've run into, or one on my friends list. They're really good. Not
Mm-hmm.
taking anything away from the ladies, but it'd be nice to see the shakedown of this because you're just bringing in such an interesting dynamic, and some people are looking at this that hasn't seen the first time that you did the stream, and I think it went very well, even though I know it was very hectic on you, very pressuring, but you handled it well. You handled it with grace. You did a very, very good job of it, and I really don't know exactly who's going to win because I don't know all these characters these people individually. But I think it's going to be very interesting depending on the maps and Hell on Earth and how you decided to tweak this new situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to really make people think more about not just what I like, but if I'm in touch with my team and I play with them and we do scrimmages or just playing around, who does what better? If they're real killing floor guys, they'll figure that out and they'll have it figured out before it starts. That's what I would want on my roster. Is I would talk to my guys and say, what do you feel comfortable running? What gun do you feel you're most effective with? How do you like to heal? Because if you're not a field medic, there's only so many seconds until the syringe gets right. Do you feel comfortable running field medic? Are you a headshotter? Do you just like to do body damage? Those are the kind of questions I would ask my team to figure out to put people in the right
Well,
situations to be
speaking about
successful.
that, who, what 5 players would you pick, by the way, if you were to go in this tournament right now?
Oh man, like I said, that'd be a very tough question because I haven't spoken or interacted with any of these people. I haven't played with any of them, so I haven't seen their gameplay. I haven't seen their trophies to know if they're 100% or not. Most people are. That's diehard Halo 4 fans. New map comes out, you're going to do it. I would like to pick names, Malachi, but honestly, I can't give you any because you got a nice roster of people, but I haven't personally played with any of them. So I actually don't feel comfortable just throwing out a couple names, which I could, but I've never played with them. I've never talked to them. I've never played with them in the game, so it'd be inaccurate. And I want everything I give you or any question you ask me to be forthcoming and positive and straightforward. So honestly, this one I would say a question mark. It'd be like playing Super Mario. You go
Oh,
up and
okay.
hit that question mark block, and
So if
you don't
you
know what's
just,
coming out.
yeah, if you just got thrown with like anybody, you'd be okay with them.
Oh, of course. I just need to be told what role you need me to play. I'm very adaptive. But like I said, when I first started playing this game multiple years ago, like yeah, support was my class. But then when I started seeing what the other classes could do, now I'm extremely comfortable with picking whatever. It really does not matter to me.
Yeah, I think that was the same thing with Team H, or yeah, either your team last year or Team H, because I just got thrown with a bunch of solo players that wanted to be on that didn't have a team. So
Yeah.
I just basically said, okay, you're on a team, and
Right.
I I kind of felt bad about it, because it was just all of a sudden, and they just wanted to play so bad, and I just said, okay, I'll give you guys a chance to play. Uh, I think that's when I threw Highlander in the mix, and uh, we noticed that some of those players were like low level, like level 12 and level 7s and all that. Uh,
Hmm.
and she basically came to me and uh, addressed the problem, and I said, well, if you could find other players that could better assist you on it, then like try to do that, which she eventually did, and like, and I just, you know, I either said like, hey, you guys could be bench players for her like new team that she has now, because it's like I think they're more prepared for it, and then
Yeah.
they didn't want to be. They didn't want to like sit on the bench for the tournament, and so they just like they basically left. And I, honest to God, felt bad about it. This was just like hitting me. It's just like all of a sudden, and you know, like I just my assumption was that like these players were like 20 to 25,
Hmm.
and it just wasn't that. So yeah, I kind of got tricked a little bit, but that's I tried to adapt to it as best as I could, and that was the end result.
Well, I think you did a very good job of whatever you're handling. I mean, thank you for telling me about that. I didn't know about that, um, or that individual. But I mean, just showing your willingness to be understanding and to try to make things right. I think that's the main thing that's going to push you even further because things do happen. And let's be honest, um, I am older. I don't look that, I don't look as old as I really am, but I'm an old school geek. So I know some of the new people or the new genre, they're like, "What's up with this Killing Floor game, man? You know, it's games like, I mean, at one time it was free on PlayStation 4 Plus 2. So
Mm-hmm.
people are thinking, what's going on? And they're jumping into it, not realizing that, hey, like I said with the sensitivity, you can't just go in there and just make low, medium, high. You actually need to actually focus a little bit if you really want to get good at this game. And a lot of my friends, even on Xbox that I know that I work with, stopped playing it because, like I told you back in the day when you prestige, it was hard because you had to start all over with no XP, no nothing. And I probably did about three or four classes like that before I was like, it's not that I can't do it, but what's the benefit? And then I couldn't find any players, and besides the players, the servers were just really trash at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So you are completely correct. Like these, I'm not putting any haterade or anything negative on new players, but if you get in a tournament where you're doing hell on earth and you're a level 5 or 6 or 7, or even a level 2 or 3 prestige, or a 7 or 8 or 15, there's a reason why they ask for 15 and higher on hell on earth. That's just to give you a chance. It's not really gonna work, honestly, not unless it's completely perfect because Hell on Earth, the thing I love about Hell on Earth mode is that whenever you think you got it figured out, Tripwire figures out a way to just completely disturb it and mess it up. You can turn around and look, like it's happened to me in multiple YouTube videos. I even posted some a couple days ago. This happened. I'm running one direction, Malachi. There's nothing behind me. I kill them. There's three Zeds left. I turn behind me. Look, there's nothing there. I turn back in front of me. There's a Zed right in front of me. Kill him. And guess what? I get kicked or pushed in the corner, and then I'm dead. They just drop them out of nowhere. And that's the thing I love about Hell on Earth because you have to constantly be on the swivel.
Yeah, you
You
have to be
can't
on
get
your feet.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get comfortable. As soon as you think you're comfortable, anybody that's listening to his podcast right now, just to set the standards straight. If you really want to get in the killing floor and you're doing Hell on Earth, if you have a group of friends that you're friends with and you guys get down and have a great time and you think you're doing good, whenever you think you're comfortable, that's when everybody's going to die. It's just that's how hell on earth is. It's to give you a learning curve of just to put your head on a complete swivel. It's almost like driving a car with no steering wheel. How are you going to aim it? How are you going to direction it?
Yeah. Uh, yeah, all those got good points in there. Uh, yeah. Um, when I basically the whole idea when I had first started this was how could I bring a bunch of people together to compete against one another, and the first thing that popped in my head was tournament, and Hell on Earth is tough, but it's very doable. Uh, yeah, that is true. Here, I need to switch my chat over. Oh,
Okay.
my chat is not cooperating. Here, da da da. Need to fix that. Here we go. Uh, yeah. Um, I basically wanted to like bring a bunch of the people together to like compete against one another and to have fun. And
Hmm.
the first thing in my head was like tournament. I should make a tournament, and that's basically what I did. I had no idea that it would get over like 100 reactions on a single post on the Facebook feed. I had no idea that it would bring a lot of attention to players from France, from Australia, from all over the world, nationwide. I had no idea
Right.
it was going to be this huge thing where I could attract Xbox players, PlayStation players, PC players, professional players, you know? Um,
Hmm.
so once I knew I created that spark, uh, I had to basically go through with it, even though, a lot of people have been pressuring me to try to, like, change my rules, do this, do that, and all this other crap. Uh,
Hmm.
I basically, like, I felt so overwhelmed and so, like, I almost wanted to feel the need to just make all the changes that, like, these guys were telling me to do. And, like, part of me was saying that's not the responsible thing to do. Like,
Right.
this is yours. Like, you are the creator of it. You like, nothing can get past you, basically. Uh, so I just had to lay it down straight. I had to bring people together before the tournament and say, okay, I have this, this, and this. I'm gonna try to make it fair as possible. So, what would you guys recommend? What would you suggest? Mind you, that these were all suggestions. Okay, nothing was like ever like verified until you know I wanted to verify it, basically. Um, and that's how this tournament found like got its foundation from, and we kept building off that. uh so I'm sorry, Forsen's calling me. I'd have to hang up when I'm like doing a
Okay.
podcast right now. I'm sure it's nothing. uh I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, so that's basically like I wanted to make this like an annual thing. I wanted to make this like an ongoing thing for people to have fun. Um, I want the second one. I hope it goes well. I hope um, all the players like have no problem like playing all the maps, playing the games, having fun, cooperating with their teammates. I hope it goes as planned. I Will there be a third one? Of course, there's going to be a
Oh,
third one. I want to make a fourth one. I want to make a fifth one. I want this to be an annual growing thing where like people can sign up and play and have fun with their friends. That's the whole reason why I did this was for you guys. And I know I keep repeating myself, but it rings true with everything.
it does. And I really appreciate you for doing that because another thing that people got to think about too is like when I first started playing Killing Floor, everything was fine. Nothing was going on. The world seemed to be somewhat fine, but now we have social distancing. Now we have this coronavirus that we're dealing with. And there's a lot of your friends you don't get a chance to see because of that, depending on your area. But you know what? We can get online, play our games together, and we can still have a good time and still have our friendship and our camaraderie. And none of that's gone because of the times that we're living in the world. I mean, gamers are going to be gamers, people are going to be people, and none of that's ever going to change. But the good thing about it is that what you made in starting this camaraderie, which you probably didn't think was much, like I told you, that there wasn't a lot of people on the servers at the time, but there's been an intense spark and influence since you did that. I've seen it because I don't really play too many lobbies by myself anymore. People join, They might join, leave, quit, or whatever, but people are online now. They're active. It's like you woke them up with like Thor's hammer. People just, oh goodness, he's doing a tournament. I remember that game, and people start talking, and that's kind of all you need to get started is just
Yeah.
the conversation.
You know what I wish too? I wish the developers would make a harder
Mhm.
difficulty for consoles, or even put control difficulty on on console, so that it can, that way we can push ourselves.
Right.
Because I think, yeah, for what Freed Sniper said earlier, but for some of us regular Hell on Earth players, yes, it is very
Hmm.
doable, and we deserve more of a challenge. That's why we did some gun perks and nomadic, and we tried to switch things up. We tried to make it more of a challenge for ourselves, because we just wanted a harder way to kind of push ourselves to try to become better at this game. And
Do you
yeah, and like for the newer Hell on Earth players, like they'll take some time getting used to. I'm sure you can do it. Uh, Nobody's stopping you. I mean, like, I'm sure you have what it takes to, like, if you have a good team, uh, you know, do a Hell on Earth game, whether it be 4, 7, or 10 wave. Uh, you know, Anything's possible, man. Uh,
That's correct.
but
Do
yeah,
you think that's where the weekly came from? The weekly that we see every now and then
the
is
I know which one
kind
you're
of
talking
talking.
about. It's not Arsenal, but it's Abandon All Hope, I think.
Hmm. It says if you think
It's a
hell on
little
earth
it's a
is
little bit
easy,
of a
this is
step up.
yeah.
I shared this conversation with Zelmo. Yeah, I'd have to agree with him. It's a little bit of a step up from Hell on Earth, but it's not like a
Mm-mm.
noticeable difference.
I agree. I will say that. Like I was thinking, okay, this is gonna get really crazy. It does, but the only real thing that I notice right off the bat is that they just bum rush you right off the bat. Like everybody's running, just like it's track and field, or like they're just trying to tackle you. That's the only real thing that I noticed. Like the strength seemed to be about the same as Hell on Earth. The damage seemed to be the same. The only thing different is they just come out sprinting right off the bat. Everybody's running at you. That's the only thing that I saw that was different. And I've ran it a couple times, and I was like, well, this feels like Hell on Earth, except they're just running faster. But if you know what you're doing, they're not going to get to you. If you can kill them before they get to you, it's not really effective in that mode.
Sorry, just texting my friend
Okay.
because he keeps calling me and it's getting annoying. Uh,
It's okay, man.
yeah, um, yeah. Uh, if I'm sorry, I have these brain farts where I just had to like pace myself and I kind of remember what was I talking about and stuff. Like,
Hey, it's okay, man. We're all
yeah,
human.
uh, yeah. Uh, I definitely feel like a harder difficulty would be doable for us.
Hmm.
It's not a bad idea.
Nope.
But I'm kind of happy with what I'm doing now. Um, Even though like I have have had like a lot of people reach out to me saying like, "Hey, can I commentate? Hey, can I be a referee? Hey, can I do this?" Like that just tells me that like it was getting more noticeable and it was getting more attention to people. I didn't necessarily wanted to play, but wanted to help out, and I'm kind of grateful for that at the same time too.
Right.
Yeah, because last year, like, I was doing this all by myself. Like, I created this tournament by myself, created the bracket by myself, all the teams, by myself. Not all by myself because like one team like was already good and ready to go. Uh, they, um, but everything else, yeah, I had to pick the maps. I had to pick the cash prize. I had to, you know, get the watch the live streams. I had to referee. I had to do all that. Uh,
Yeah, I
took
noticed that.
it took the majority of time. Like I invested in this was definitely worth it. But I wish like if I had the people that I had now back last year, I probably would have more time doing this stuff that was just as important for me, you know.
Right. And I remember when we talked not too long ago, we were talking about uh, down the road. Hopefully, guys, you guys keep supporting.
Hmm.
We were talking about doing some cash prizes, right?
Yeah. No. Well, not this year. Not this year.
Yeah, of course, not this year, but down the road, guys. If you guys keep staying loyal to him and helping him out, um, me and him has some ideas about ways that
I'm actually
will
glad you
benefit
brought
you.
that up. I'm actually
Yeah,
glad you brought that up because I wanted to say something. Uh,
awesome.
the reason why, like I'm not making the trophies, but I'm going to go on a website just to find like custom trophies and kind of like type words and like to have it engraved like their gamer tags or whatever, like whatever was
Hmm.
advertised on that, the poster.
Hmm.
I wanted to do that because I wanted like instead of just giving money for something, just say like anybody can spend money, and just say,
Right.
oh, you guys won. Well, where's the proof? It was like, well, like go
True.
watch the streams. Like, I want people to like say like if they won, say like, oh, you won. Like, yeah, look at this trophy. Like, something to show for it.
I
I
understand
want
it's an
something to
accomplishment.
show for it.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think that way it's more of a visual and it's
Right.
like more rewarding and it's more memorable, you
But
know?
at the same time, like we both talked, I got your back, man. I think we could do both.
Yeah.
Like it'd be awesome to, have a little something in your pocket maybe, and then, hey man, look at this trophy. Hey mom, dad, I know you told me the same thing my dad told me. My mom never told me that, but my dad said, hey son, you gotta put those video games down. Like they're not gonna get you nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people even making more money than me,
It was
working my 9 to 5,
it
having
was kind of
fun.
funny because they thought I was being sponsored by Tripwire and just like no, all of this is
Oh
coming
no,
from me. Uh,
no, there was nowhere you ever advertised being connected to Tripwire or anything. It was straight up you on Twitch doing
yeah.
your thing,
If you
and it
think
was
that like Tripwire, if I was being sponsored by Tripwire, like don't you think there would have been more people helping me out with it, or would have been more professional, way more professional?
mm,
Uh, but the only reason why I did cash price last year is because I was racking up at least $2,500 to $2,800 a month, and I
wow,
didn't know what to spend it on, you know. So I
right?
just tossed a little bit um, to the winning team. It was like
Why
six
not?
hundred dollars a player, 1,200 I think I gave out. Yeah, I mean it was, you know, kind of it was like really uh, gracious on my end, but like I wanted to
Oh
do
yeah,
it for them. Uh,
you know what? That's the awesome thing about when you get to that point. I mean, that's what I'm still doing on my YouTube. I'm still trying to grow to the point where I actually get some kind of income from it so I can give it out to my subscribers and to the people that like my content. I'm not quite there yet, but that's my push. I still do my job. I take care of all my other things I have to take care of in life, but that's my real reason for starting YouTube is it's not just to get money. It's to give money and give it back to the people that support. And just like you're saying, hey, give it back. And I'm a firm believer in that. I always have. I mean, I do that in life, period, without people even subscribing to my channel. I mean, like I said, I'm a little older, so some people don't even know I'm a gamer, which is still fine with me. But I think at the end of the day, it's all about giving back to the people that support you in life or anything you do or anything that you are inspired by.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, we have the same voice that we can inspire other people to just give it a shot. Because I was told I should have had a YouTube 2 or 3 years ago. But I was like, man, I'm not a YouTuber, man. There's no way. You're like,
It's
why
never too
not?
late.
And I never
It's never too late.
could give an answer why I didn't want to do it. I wasn't nervous. I just thought to myself, am I that good? It's that small little question that I think we all have as human beings in our mind before we decide to do something that we've never done before. And that adventure sometimes makes anybody nervous. I will say I was a little nervous, but take the leap, jump. I mean, give it a shot. You never know what can happen.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I was kind of surprised myself whenever I kind of did some Googling research, and I think I was the very first person to make a Killing Floor 2 tournament on PS4.
Really? I haven't even Googled
Yeah,
it yet.
because
Oh, goodness. Talk
I
to an
looked
icon.
at all the dates and for like tournaments, Killing Floor 2 tournaments, and all of them were later than my dates. They like had later dates than mine.
Look
Uh,
at you. You're an influencer.
yeah. So I think I kind of I would like a little bit of a pioneer and like pave the road for some people to like make their own tournaments and stuff.
You
I
definitely
mean, which is
kickstarted it.
awesome, you know. But there
How's that make you
was
feel,
a
though?
couple of KF1 tournaments too that I watched. Um, it was like way more like professional than mine, but uh, that that's kind of what gave me that spark was that I watched that one, and then I said like, wouldn't it be cool if I applied that to this game too? So that's
I got
basically
better.
how I brought that spark, you know.
Progression, man. That's what life's all about. Anything that you love and care about,
Hey
you got to
viewers in
put
the
in
chat, you can ask
time.
questions too to RobDO1. You can ask questions to me. You know,
Yeah, guys, speak
it's
to us.
not. Don't make it feel like it has to be a one-on-one thing. So if you have any questions, just in general, just type it in chat, and we'll be more than happy to answer.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, but I think like most of the players I've looked at and now Hell on Earth players, Homer Senpai, Draciro, uh, I'd say probably Simply Abstract, Make Your Mom, players that like aren't around like as much now because I was playing like 2017, 2018 days, and
Hmm.
some of the like really good players. This was before like the prestiges. This was before like the HOG stuff. There
Right.
were some really good players, back then that would just grind on this game. Uh, that I loved seeing them play, and just they're kind of like inactive now. Like, have you ever had like friends that are just inactive, like that like were playing this game that like kind of fell off? Not fell off, but like just
No, you're
decided
right.
not to play anymore.
No, you're right. You kind of fell off because that's how I felt. Like I just told you personally, I stopped playing for a year because the prestige it wasn't the big thing, but I don't mind playing by myself. The camaraderie is nice, but the fact that I couldn't grind and get anything done, I felt like I was spinning my wheels in mud and dirt and I wasn't getting anywhere. Um, that's the only reason I stopped playing Kill for it because I know right now if I would have stuck to it, and it was really weird. Around the same time you said you were playing 2017, 18, I was playing the same time. We could have ran into each other in lobbies just slaying, didn't even know it. But what brought me back was not knowing about double XP or nothing. I just got tired of um, playing some of the games I was playing. And I was like, man, I gave a lot to Killing Floor. And like I told you, like they used to send, I know you remember that, right? When they would send you an event saying it's double XP, are you going, are
Yeah.
you joining?
Mhm.
I would always join. And it was awesome, man. And it wasn't even about the XP. It was just, I knew at that time there was way more players online. We were getting in, having more fun. There was no empty lobbies. It was just fantastic. But yes, I do know a couple of people that I used to play with, at least two or three, that just, when the game kind of looked like it was going to die, somehow we had this resurgence. But yeah, I did lose about two or three people I know right now that don't play anymore.
Mhm.
They are friends of mine, but if I could get them online right now, situations happen, lose a console, not at the same place or moving. If I could get them online, they told me that, if they had the resources and the system to get back online, they would jump right back into Killing Floor and be all gun ho for it.
Mm. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I kind of wish this game had like leaderboards, so that way we could keep track of like who's on top and like how we're doing and how we're progressing and stuff. But at the same time, I think it's a little bit of an ego booster for some people, because if they see they're like top five, they'll kind of like, I think that'll give them a reason to just like kind of have like give them bragging rights a little bit. And I think they do have them on PC, but I don't think they're on console. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but
You are correct. They do not have that on console, and
yeah.
yeah, I think if they did add that, like, yeah, you're right, it would be cool. But you're gonna have a lot of those clout chasers out here that want to do that because there's another game I play that's kind of similar to that, and they finally shut down the competitive mode. So now there's certain people at certain spots, but we still do like quick play events where you get people that are very high ranked. But it would be cool to know it. But you're gonna have, like you said, those clout chasers that are gonna be running, just trying to see if they can get that top board, and um, who knows what kind of hacking you could endure with that as well. Because I mean, there are some
You just
players that are
say
gonna play that
cloud
don't want
chasers.
to.
I only hear
Uh,
that from like
yeah.
YouTube rappers and stuff. I haven't heard that from anyone on this game. Cloud
But I mean,
chasers.
hey, they're still there though, because
Yeah.
the real definition of a clout chaser is somebody who wants attention for either something they accomplished or something that they did not accomplish maybe the correct way, grinding, but they got it easy. They want to be seen as the person on top. They want to be seen as the alpha. That's the whole reason for the clout thing. But you are right. Like, yeah, you hear some rappers say it and stuff, but it does apply to video games as well because, hey, man, did you see yesterday? I was number one. And then 3 or 4 hours later, somebody bests their score. Oh, man. And what are they going to do? They're going to go back up because
I'll
some of these
admit
people
that
aren't
like
YouTubers and things.
I am a little bit of that kind of clout chaser, because for the longest time, ever since like I started making these like podcasts, I would always like dream like, what if like Fat Cat was on here and I was talking to Fat Cat, or what if Pathfinder was on here and I was talking to him about the game? It's just like it's probably never gonna happen, but it's I like to think that like people like like social media influencers like that, specifically for this game. If they were to come on this podcast, I'd love to
Oh
hear
man,
their thoughts on things.
I would too. And to honestly just think too, like I know Killing Floor's been around for a while, but why haven't that many
Games.
people grinded it that hard? Or why haven't people thought that we can't give this game a shot just like we give all the other games? Like I don't
Yeah.
think Killing Floor was given the fair chance because it was so early. It came out during the PlayStation 4, right before the Pro came out. Because I actually got a 4, like my little small history, I'll make it really quick. My buddy needed some money, and instead of pawning it, he gave it to me. I got a PlayStation 4, 2 controllers, a camera, uh, five games for like $175. And I said, when you want it back, just I'll give it back to you. Just bring me 175. I
Jeez.
just gave him a loan. So I
I
started playing
remember
Mortal Kombat X.
those. Yeah, I remember those times, but it was like around GameCube times where I just had a rack of games like that,
That's where it was.
and I would like get all these like game plugs that just said, "Hey, you want Fantasy Star Online?" or "Hey, you want freaking Super Smash Brothers Melee?" Uh, and yeah, I'd be the person to like get those games. I don't know, it was just fun, even though like it wasn't online or anything. I love playing with my brother and sister on those things, and my cousins like have a good time. You know, uh, it took
Same
me
thing
back.
I did.
Yeah.
It did. Like I still own my Nintendo 64 I bought when I was a kid when it came out. I got the original. Well, I don't have the original graphics card. I bought the red top that gave you a little bit better graphics, a little bit better pixels. I still got my Dreamcast. Like I like nostalgia. I still got my PS3.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just, I'm just like you. Like I played some games with my sisters, and we love Tetris. We played Nintendo. We played Bubble Boggle. I'm the middle kid, so I'm the only boy. I got an older sister and a younger sister, and like you said, just that nostalgia, just having fun with your siblings. That's where my love of video games really came from. Was just it wasn't really about who won to me. It was about how much fun I was having with my family and friends around me.
Yeah.
And then the camaraderie happened where, hey, I placed this score. You think you can beat me? Think you can beat me? All right, I'm gonna go do this and do that, and I'm gonna go outside and play. I'm gonna play basketball. If you can beat my score, let me know. It's like a challenge,
Mhm.
but it was quiet and it was cool back then.
Yeah. Uh, we are just about almost at that hour mark. We're at 53 minutes in. If you want to stick around for the 8 minutes, you can.
Of course.
Or if you want to end it here, you can too. It's totally up to you, man. I always let the guests know what's up.
I'm here with you.
Okay.
I'm here with you, man. I'm not going nowhere.
Uh, okay, so I'll just do closing statements right now.
Okay.
So for let me close out on this. Uh, do you feel like if this tournament was to be a huge success and there was more of a high demand for it, do you do you think that there will be more along the way?
I think positively, yes, there will be more. Where there is supply, there also is a demand. And I think what a lot of people waking up that used to be killing for players, like you said, people that haven't played in a while, getting back on the game, realizing that these lobbies are getting full. The servers are way better. They fixed the glitches and problems that happened a long time ago that made a lot of us stop playing. I think that positiveness and the positivity of the tournaments that you're doing and how people are opening up to that and something they want to be a part of, like you just said not too long ago, some of these players might not even been that good, but they wanted to try. They wanted a chance. And I think that speaks a lot to how these tournaments that you're doing can definitely keep going, and something that you can always talk to me about and I could talk to you about, and we can get it even further than where you have it now. I think you're pushing in a very popular trend. You're definitely trending up. You're going in a good direction, and your interaction with your fan base is very well. People really like you. They like to hear you. They like to hear your statements and how you are with the situation of the tournament that you've done, even though they might have overran you a little bit by accident. But like you said, you weren't really expecting that. It was way too much for sure, but you handled it well. And look, it's still growing. So,
So, okay, here's another question. Uh,
mhm.
if something were to happen to me, but I want to continue this thing, do you think anyone would take my place?
That'd be tough to say because not everybody's ready for that mental load. Uh, the idea is great, but when you actually have to do it, that's when things change. I know it's something I would love to do, but I know, you stream a lot of your stuff on Twitch. I stream mine on YouTube, and there is a difference between that. I definitely think the vernacular and the fan base that you have is a little bigger than mine. So I think I could try it on YouTube. I don't know as it would be, successful it would be, but it would definitely be something I would definitely try. But I think your success rate is trending and going in a very good and positive direction. And somebody that'll replace you, nah, Malachi, they're not gonna replace you, man. Like you're you for a reason, and people connect to you for a reason, and always remember that you're doing this for a good, positive reason, and it comes from the heart. And if it comes from the heart and the mind, brother, nobody can mess it up. It's natural. It's a win-win.
Okay, that about wraps it up there. Do you have any final words before I end this podcast?
Uh, yes, guys. My name is RobD01. Check me out on YouTube. RobD01 got that heat. Um, Definitely keep following Malachi. He's an awesome guy. He's pushing a great movement. Um, he's doing something, man. And I mean, this shot got something not to slip on. And just thank you for listening to us. I hope he will invite me back for another one of our interviews because this is awesome. I think it's great to have this coming back. And let's keep Killing Floor alive, guys. Let's play.
Okay, glad to end it on that note there. Uh, See you guys in the next one. Check you guys out in the tournament August 5th. Don't miss that. And see you later, guys. Peace out.